Eric Burgess here with Music Marketing TV. Today we're going to be looking at doing some scratching with Serato Sample. There is not a feature in Serato Sample that allows you to automate this. There is the ability to automate the seek position, but it won't do the scratching. It'll just blip all over the place and not sound very good. So how are we going to set up something like this? So I have over here, this is triggering our drums. We have a previous video where we talked about how to do this. This time we're going to be looking at how can we record some scratching and, more importantly, get a good workflow. There's a few little things that are handy to know about. There's really two tips. The first tip is when you do this, you want to be zoomed in. It changes the frequency of the scratching. If you're zoomed out, it's looking at more, you're going to be skipping over more data. It's going to cause higher frequency stuff. And so in general, you usually don't want to do that. The other one is you can use markers while playing back to jump to a new location if you want to scratch over something else. So let's set this up. So first, in order to record it, the first thing you're going to need to do is have Serato Sample loaded and have a sample that you would like to use. I'm just using this vocal chop. So that's my input. I'm going to go ahead and send it to the mixer. And on the mixer, I am going to add Edison. Now you could just hit Control E in FL Studio and it will bring it up. Now in other DAWs, you'll probably just do a loop record and then maybe do a comp afterwards. I'm going to be using Edison and sort of this FL Studio focused workflow, but this could totally work with vocal comping if your DAW supports it. I'm going to go on input. I'm going to change it to on play, and this will add, when I hit play, it'll start recording here once this is record armed, and it is. And as long as we're recording on a loop, which I am in pattern mode, so it will begin to loop. So if I hit play here, there's a song jump, the next song jump. So we can essentially get different loops and takes and take out the ones we like the most. So vocal comping might be the way to do this, but this time I'm going to be doing this one. So once this is set up, we need to consider how our MIDI is going to work. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off for the moment and bring up the channel rack. And in here we have the vocal chop. So we'll call it vocal chop. And I am triggering right now off of this first one, but I could add a second one if I ever want to jump around. Say I'd like to have somewhere else to go because you're going to be zoomed in. So you really want this to jump around for you. So for example, I could use, we could go up this last chop. So now when I'm zoomed in and we hit play, and quickly jump around, and you sort of have to pre-plan where you want to go. But if you have audio that has a lot of variability and you would like to hop around, this is how you can do it. If you want to get really fancy and do this in real time without this, you could set up your cue points and then just have a MIDI controller, like a keyboard or a drum controller, and you just hit the pad and it'll jump to that cue and you can immediately start scratching with your mouse. So now that we have all this stuff set up, we can go ahead and run a loop. I'm going to go ahead and leave this second cue point in because I think that's kind of fun, have a little bit more variation. If you have things like vocals or words or spoken phrase, that can be especially useful. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in to bring up the mixer. You hit F9, pull up Edison. I'm going to detach it. What I did there is I hit the down arrow and hit D, or you can select the detached. And so this will just stay as a floating window now. I'm going to get rid of the drum player. I just thought it was cool that we were using it for the drums as well. And let's see if we can get a good take. We'll also start here at the beginning. And I'll cue up Serato with the first one. And let's go. And so there we go. So we have our take. Now let's say that, okay, we want to run with this. We had some good moments, some not so great moments, just experimenting, tried out some different zoom levels. And you could sit here and really finesse it, and just depending on how detailed you want to get. So now that we have this, let's go ahead and hit F5, and we will drag this into our session, and we are done with Edison for the moment. Let's also grab our pattern and stick down the drums and get rid of these two chops since they now exist on the recording. Now let's just get one loop to work really well. And what I like to do actually when I'm doing this is to chop this up and make chops on each phrase. And then I am going to middle mouse click and click to bring this menu up and get the slide tool. You can also just pick it right here. And as long as we're on a snap setting that snaps to the grid, we can snap and preview different chunks. You can also hit shift click drag to create slices very quickly without having to change the tool. So right here, right, I might look for something that hits there a little better. Maybe that one. And so after some trying things out, this is one that I've settled on. And, as I continue to work on it, I could refine it. I really like the groove that's in here. And of course, you could go through and get some more takes, maybe some stuff that fits better rhythmically. Don't be afraid to take a bunch of different takes and come in. And if you're doing a lot of micro editing, maybe you should just practice a little and get a little bit better and then come in and try to do something like this. But there's a workflow for you for getting some cool scratching style effects out of Serato Sample. If you have any questions, let me know down below. Subscribe and hit that bell icon for future videos, and have a blessed day.